Hi, I'm Matthew Bolin, also known as The Light. Other people call me Bolin, Matt, whatever you call me. I am who I am. This video here is about the hashtag Heartseekers Tour 2013. What this is this. It got started in the wrestling community, where people have become sick and tired of holding in the anger, hatred, and all the negative feelings from events in their life. My big sister's in it, a part of it, and I decided that I myself was going to make a video about it. About my problems with anger and hatred and all that, and wanting to let it go. I'm going to try to get this video done at one time. It might be in one part, it might come in two parts. I'm not sure. It all depends on how much I decide that I'm going to come out and say. This is going to be a highly personal video, so I may as well get started. My biggest thing when I first started having a problem with anger and hatred was about 2000, so technically 13 years ago. Well, it is 13 years ago, when my mother's sister, Marie Martin, was murdered by two men who came into her house and cut her throat so badly they almost decapitated her. Now, these disgusting people did this for the simple fact that she was the manager of a Taco Bell in Surfside, South Carolina. I reside in Andrews, South Carolina at this time. But she was like a second mother to me. If my mother and father would have died and something would have happened to them, she would have been the person who would have raised me. I was somewhere between 10 and 12 at the time. I can't remember my exact age. I was 10. I was 10 at the time. And my father had left my mother and was staying with this woman named Juanita. And I remember the night it happened. My mother came over crying her eyes out. And I remember asking her, "Mom, what's wrong? What's happened?" And she looked at me crying, saying, "Matthew, your Aunt Marie was murdered and the men got away." Now, eventually these two men were caught in another state, extradited here, and are currently in prison. At her funeral, I remember everybody crying out of sadness, except me. I didn't cry. I couldn't cry. I was sad, yes. I was beyond sad. I was devastated that somebody that I loved so much was now gone. But my anger at these two men, at what they had taken from my family, had built up so much that I couldn't cry. To this day, if I go to her gravestone, I do not cry out of sadness. I cry out of anger. I cry because I'm so angry that these men did what they did. And yes, people would say that they're serving justice sitting in prison. I don't see that as justice. And yes, this is supposed to be about getting rid of hate and anger. But I think these men should have been made to suffer. What they did was wrong. From that point on, I don't know what to say. My heart, I guess, hardened. Became more ice-like. I started shutting myself away from people. I started shunning people, pushing them away from me, because I didn't want to be hurt anymore. But I've learned that was the wrong thing to do. Because even though I didn't want to get hurt anymore, I have been hurt more. I've been in several relationships that didn't work. Either because the woman cheated on me, or I couldn't let my anger at the world go, and it had affected my relationship. I won't say I've cheated once, and that was it. Other than that, I've been cheated on several times. My anger, I tend to lash out at the wrong people. Which was a problem in my relationships. Other than my Aunt dying, I have had to deal with so-called friends lying to me. I would give them money and they would go behind my back and talk crap about me, diss on me, spread disgusting rumors about me, and everything else. In my childhood, I had a father that was a drug addict and an alcoholic at a time. I'm not too much angry at him anymore. I've pretty much forgave him completely. There is a part of me that is reserved and still angry at him for what I had to deal with going through my childhood. But if I did not deal with that, I would not be the person I am today. A strong, self-reliant person. I've had girls cheat on me. I've tried my best to treat girlfriends the way they should be treated, but things would come up and I wouldn't know how to handle it, how to control my anger, and I would make a big deal out of the smallest thing. Like I had this one girlfriend, I graduated from school. She wouldn't go to school anymore. So we argued constantly over school, constantly, to the point that we could no longer deal with each other, so we broke up. We ended it. And personally, I think the fact that we ended it was the best. We're better off friends now than we are dating. I got into online dating for a while, and that was the biggest mistake I would ever make in my life. It led to nothing but misery and more anger and bitterness at the people because they did nothing but lie and cheat and make false promises. But you got to move on from that. You really do. In this town that I live in, it's a small town, and I have been ridiculed for the way I've looked, the way I've dressed, the way I've talked, the music I've listened to. And I know this goes for everybody at some point. People look at me, I'd wear eyeliner, they'd be like, "Are you gothic?" No, I'm not gothic. I'm freaking me. That's who I am. I'm me. Like me, hate me, love me. I'm me. Accept me for who I am, or move on out my life. I don't need that kind of stuff. This is a new year. I'm moving forward. Family. My father's family. They say they love you, and in some ways they prove it, and in other ways they contradict themselves. For the simple fact that if I didn't look a certain way, I didn't dress a certain way, I wasn't allowed to go to functions and have anything to do with them. I have piercings, I have tattoos, and that part of my family doesn't too much like it. They expect you to look high class, high dollar. Well, I'm not high class and I'm not high dollar. I'm me. I wear what I like. I do to my skin what I like it or love it. I have a sister that for the first 18 years I didn't know about her. And thankfully now I know about her. We have a wonderful relationship. I love you, Deanna. I love you to death. You are the best big sister that I could ever ask for. You're there for me all the time. You're constantly giving me advice. You never sugarcoat things for me. You tell me how it is and how it should be. You help me in so many ways you don't know. I just wish that I could help you more than what I do. I've been around drugs my whole life, friends that did drugs. Like I said, my father did drugs. I never got into the drugs because I got, and this is I'm grateful for, I got a righteous anger and hatred towards them that I will never do them. My grandmother has always belittled me and told me I was worthless. I wouldn't ever amount to anything. My mother's family, when I was in high school, he's worthless. He's never going to amount to anything. He won't get out of high school. Well, I graduated. I went to college. I'm not in college right now because I'm taking a break at this second. I will be starting again in 2 weeks. But they always belittled me and said he'll never amount to anything. He's a sorry heathen. He's a sorry bastard. He's worthless. I'm not worthless. I'm not a nobody. I'm a somebody. And thankfully, to the woman that I'm with now, Megan Broad, I thank you, Megan, for the fact that up until I met you, I was still angry. But you brought laughter and joy and happiness back into my life and made it where I want to change who I am and who I was. I've started letting go of my anger, and I've started becoming a happier, more joyful person. My friend Trevor, I thank you, for you have also brought this about, helping me, pushing me to do the right thing, to let go of the hate. My sister, you've also done this. My father, you've done this for me. And my mother. I thank all of you. From the bottom of my heart, y'all all mean the world to me. I just hope that soon all the hatred, the anger, and everything will be gone out of my life, and that I'm just going to become a better person for it. It's a new year. It's time to make some new changes, do some new things. I thought I'd just make this video and get this out there and to show my support. I love you all, and may the light always shine upon you.